If I may start with you, Your Excellency Sun Chantol. In light of the recent border tensions and subsequent disruptions to cross-border trade, how is the CDC recalibrating and transforming the Thailand +1 and Vietnam +1 strategies to a unified ASEAN production base to ensure that international investors view Cambodia as a secure, sustainable, and long-term pillar?
Well, thank you very much for the question. The strategy, policy of Thai +1, Vietnam +1, China +1, it came after we look at the whole strategy for the country, for Cambodia. So Cambodia is not only rely on the border, if you will, the +1. +1 is just complementary to the overall strategy of Cambodia as a center for the manufacturing base that can serve the Greater Mekong sub-region that I mentioned, which consists of Cambodia, Vietnam, Thailand, Laos, Myanmar, and certain part of China, with 250 million consumers. Cambodia sits in the heart, in the center of gravity, if you will, for the Greater Mekong sub-region. Also use Cambodia as a platform to serve ASEAN, to serve ASEAN +5 through ASEP, so ASEAN plus China, Korea, Japan, Australia, New Zealand, 2.3 billion consumers. But in addition to that, our strategy is to build all the infrastructure that can connect Cambodia to the world, that we can trade with everyone around the world. We can trade with the US, we trade with EU. So that through connectivity that the government of Cambodia has been investing heavily. Our port in the Oceanic world is going through a major expansion. As of today, only 18% of the vessels that going around Asia Pacific can call on our port. But next year, when we complete the first container terminal, new container terminal port, 93% of the vessels in Asia Pacific can call on our port. So you can see the shift. You can see the shift 18 to 93. 2029, we complete the second terminal, container terminal, with 16.5 meter depth. By 2030, we finish the third container terminal with 17.5 meter depth that allow us to ship from Cambodia to all over the world without going through transshipment in another country in order to reduce the cost. Right? So the government of Cambodia is always look at strategy in the bigger than +1. +1 is important. I'm not saying it's not important. It's important. It complements to what we're doing for the whole country. That's why we have the logistics master plan. We are working on Phnom Penh Logistics Center. We work on Sihanouk Vale Logistics Center in order to reduce the cost of doing business in Cambodia to serve not only the +1, but to serve the whole world from Cambodia. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Your Excellency Cham Nimo, given the volatility in current global trade protectionism, how is the ministry leveraging ASEAN integration to diversify Cambodia's export reliance and safeguard our key sectors like garment, footwear, and travel goods sectors?
Thank you for the question, Ms. Deborah. It's always wonderful to see you in person. And before I answering your questions, of course, allow me to share my appreciation and the privilege in sharing a very distinguished panels, and especially His Excellency Deputy Prime Minister's energies, which is, believe me, it's not sustained by caffeinated beverages. It's truly infecting, and I'm sure it's radiating across the rooms, and therefore I hope to share some of His Excellency's energies and Ms. Deborah's commanding voice as well. It's very much appreciated that we're here today. How we're looking, Cambodia is, during the volatilities of the geopoliticals, whether it's actually borders, closer to home, further off away from homes, at the end of all of that, we remain on 3 key positions. And that one is, of course, is continue to leveraging on the existing trade mechanism that we have in place. Of course, one of that within the ASEAN itself is the ASEAN trade in goods, of which Cambodia has just ratified the second amendments for the protocols to accept the instruments of instruction for that. So therefore, it is very crucial that ASEAN is utilizing to the maximums what has been opened up in the ASEAN trade for goods. That's one. And then within all of that is the upgradings of the systems, upgrading of our supplier, upgrading our supply chains. Now we're looking at Cambodia being a supplier of tier ones. In the next phase of what with the frameworks we're pushing for is actually supplying to becoming tier two. And then in addition to all of that, of course, is regionalizations. We're speaking on the global aspects of everything else, but often enough, we look far out. Yesterday, I shared a similar message during the cocktail networking that, it's while we're looking outward from ASEAN, we also need to look inwards. Intra-ASEAN has such potentials that's yet to be untapped. Just looking at our DEFA alone, if we're doing all the framework and implementing the framework right, we'll be able to double the revenue and double the economic growth. We're looking at a 1 trillion to a 2 trillion. Those are very massive zeros following numbers. So they're massive in potentials. So to me, those are the three specific steps that during the volatilities of it all, we need to continue the regionalization so that those who are exporting, whether you're asking about the garment manufacturing and apparels and all the other travel goods and footwears and all of that, it will depend on our abilities to upgrade all of those and vertically integrated the supply chain itself. That's what I mentioned earlier on moving from tier 1 to tier 2. And those who are in tier 2 will be able to move up to tier 3. So, and tier 3 would be more upstream, more on the designing, more on customizations and more integrated. Yes, instead of just looking at just the raw materials and all of that aspect altogether. So to me, those are the three big components in allowing us to maintain a very predictable, despite the unpredictability of all things, is that as well we maintaining the intra-ASEAN, strengthening our inner systems, or of course, exactly what His Excellency Deputy Prime Minister mentioned earlier, whether it's ASEAN +1 +5, it's, whether it's Cambodia +1 +14, it will be very much the same thing. It's always about connectivity. It's always about the intra-regional maximization. So with that, I hope that responds to your question, Ms. Deborah.
Thank you, Your Excellency. You two bring a lot of energy to the stage. And thank you for the clarity on your responses. Masao-san, from the perspective of a major Japanese manufacturer, how has the +1 or unified ASEAN formula been affected by recent regional geopolitical frictions, border conflicts, and as Cambodia transitions to a skills-driven hub, what kind of specific strategies do you see for mechatronics and technical vocational training?
Thank you for the question. I'm Suemats from the Denso International Asia. The Denso is the world's second largest comprehensive automotive components, and then employing the 160,000 people and in 35 countries, of course, including the Cambodia. And then we are the #1, the biggest automotive parts company in Japan. And then we are also known as a company that developed the QR code. And then now the QR code is very popular, but because we didn't obtain the patent. If we didn't get the patent, if we get the patent, maybe the QR code cannot spread, I think. And then so we entered Cambodia in 2013 and have now fully transferred the production of radiators which is engine cooling components. This radiator was previously concentrated to produce in Thailand, and then now the fully transferred to Cambodia. And we export not only to Thailand, but also to Indonesia and India and Malaysia. And then we are very satisfied with the quality of Cambodian labor. I have received 2 questions from you. But the second question is very important as it is related to the future industrial development of Cambodia. You already said that the mechatronics and technical vocational something is very important. And then I fully agree to it. Why? Now I would like to explain why I agree. And then I want to say that's our future strategy of Cambodia. Let me start by taking about our strategy for Cambodia future. Currently, battery EV, the spread drives ICE, internal combustion engine, the vehicle consolidation in ASEAN and India. And it is expected the ICE parts will also to ASEAN and India. In this case, Thailand would be number 1 candidate to be chosen based on the current performance. However, Thailand must promote electrification also. Therefore, they are limited further expansion ICE vehicles. In addition, young Thai people moving away from manufacturing industry. We believe Cambodia will be the ideal site for ICE parts consolidation. As you know, hybrid vehicle extension or evolution of ICE, the technology. So transition to hybrid vehicle in the future could be considered in Cambodia. Why could Cambodia become an ICE parts hub? I think that there are 2 reasons. The first reason is ICE parts production can fully utilize the Cambodian strong points. I think Cambodia has 2 strong points. One is Cambodia has strong connectivity. Cambodia is located between the 2 major automobile market, Thailand and Vietnam. And Cambodia is a key center of logistics, infrastructure, and economic partnerships such as FTA, AFTA. This means Cambodia is effectively located in Thailand and Vietnam and no needs its own standalone supply chain. The second strong point is Cambodia's suitability to automobile parts manufacturing. We started the production in Cambodia 2013, and we found out that the Cambodian people have a very strong sense of cooperation and teamwork, and the high concentration and perseverance and the patience for detailed work. Another reason for becoming ICE parts hub is that the automotive parts industry is equipment intensive, not labor intensive, and don't require the large number of direct workers. So it is suitable for Cambodia, no large population. Next is, how can Cambodia become the best location for consolidation automobile parts, particularly ICE components? Let me talk about the concrete scenarios. First is to further enhance competitiveness in QCD, quality, cost, delivery of ICE parts beyond the current level of Thailand. This means starting from a higher level rather than simply repeating the current Thailand level. I said that Cambodia is more suitable equipment-intensive industries rather than labor-intensive industry that rely on human labor. Furthermore, in the future, manufacturing will start will shift from labor-intensive physical factories where people play the central role to equipment-intensive smart factories that utilize digital technology, such as cyberspace. To realize such smart factories, it is necessary to learn, practice advanced technologies, such as advanced digital and mechatronics capability to do more evolved robotics. Especially, Cambodia needs to utilize DX, IoT, and AI for production efficiency, as well as industry introducing robots to build automated production lines. Cambodia is a very good match for equipment-intensive industries. This means Cambodia can attract not only automotive parts industry, but also other industries such as home appliance, chemicals, and food processing, and so on. To support these industries, Cambodia will need to gather advanced digital technology and robotics. I truly hope Cambodia will focus on these capabilities and become a leader in global manufacturing in the future. To achieve this, it is essential to intentionally and proactively develop and cultivate people manufacturing talents capable of operating in smart factories through technical and vocational training. Please focus on the training talent specialized in advanced digital technologies and robotics. I'd like to ask the government of Japan, JETRO, Cambodia, JBAC, and the Japanese private sectors to take responsibility to helping in this important role. This is my opinions. And then regarding the first questions, now that there is huge risks for the unified ASEAN, Type Plus One, until now. But as you already knew, the recently unexpected situation has occurred. This is a conflict between Thailand and Cambodia. Due to this, land routes are still closed. Logistics between the two countries have been faced difficulty, and the logistics and the inventory costs is increasing significantly, which have a very serious impact on our company's business. As I said already, we transferred all of the production of engine cooling unit, namely radiator, from Thailand to Cambodia last year already. However, due to the recent border issues, transporting radiators from Cambodia to Thailand have become very difficult. It has significantly impacted vehicle production for many car makers of Thailand, including Toyota, Honda, Mitsubishi, and so on. This is a very serious issue for Cambodia and Thailand. The most important thing is to think about the risk for Cambodia and avoid those risks as much as possible. The damage to Cambodia's domestic core industry should be minimized, especially in the case of automotive parts. For example, if the supply of parts from Cambodia stops, production of vehicles in Thailand will also stop. Anyhow, this must be avoided at all. Our customer our customer is located in Thailand. They were customer, not our supplier. This is very important. If the supply of parts from Cambodia stop, customers, especially Japanese car maker in Thailand, may procure parts from the countries other than Cambodia. And then, so this is quite important, I think. From the geopolitical, in other words, economic security viewpoint, it is very clear. I would like to propose the following two concrete measurements. Firstly, we would like to request a partial reopening of the border. We don't want all trucks to pass through, but we would like to accept limited companies truck to pass. That have very large impact on the Cambodian economy. We believe that a similar request from Thailand should be accepted. So I would like to ask for special discussion with the Thai government to ensure that this is a win-win for both sides. The second point is supporting for increasing the logistic costs. With the land routes closed, we are using the sea transport, which costs nearly twice compared to land transport. We found the Cambodian port handling fee are higher than Thailand. We would greatly appreciate government assistance, particularly in supporting port operations to reduce handling costs. As I say, Cambodia is expected to be major supplier of automotive parts, but our main customers are located in Thailand. Customers are free to choose their suppliers. On the other hand, it is almost impossible for suppliers to choose their customers. We would like the Cambodian government to understand this point and provide strong support to protect automotive parts industry in Cambodia. This is my opinion. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Masao-san, for such a detailed walkthrough of a company like Denso in partnership with Cambodia and that shared vision and goals. Mr. Rap.
Excuse me, may I
Would you like to?
respond a little
Yes.
bit, if you mind, because this is really important what he mentioned in his speech. First of all, we appreciate very much your investment in Cambodia, okay? And I'm looking forward to meet you after this panel to approve your investment for the ICE part in Cambodia. Okay, we're ready. We're ready to support you real quick. It's important, because our strategy, in order for Cambodia to achieve the Vision 2050, to become a high-income country, we need to diversify our economy. And the sector that we're looking for is electronic, automotive industry, like you mentioned. So we're going to work very hard to support your industry, your sector. So after the panel, talk to me, we approve your project, okay? For you to invest in Cambodia. And in term of technical training, may I inform the audience that the government of Cambodia has a program to train up to 1.5 million youth from a poor family on TVET. So we started in November 2023, and as of now, we train over 100,000 youth from a poor family on TVET. They don't have to pay for tuition, but in fact, we give them the allowance to go to school. Okay, so that want to inform you. On border, you mentioned on border, okay? Cambodia is ready anytime to reopen, but please talk to Thai government. If they open, we are ready to open in order to facilitate the Thai Plus One. That our respected leaders been working so hard to achieve this. So the border issue is important. We are ready to ensure that the good can flow in and out. That's why we have an ASEAN Economic Community. That's why we have master plan on connectivity to connect from one members to another members. But today, that connection is disconnected. So, but we are ready. So please inform the government of Thailand to look into that. In terms of cost of the port, I will take your question, your request to talk to our port to see what can we do when the land transport is closed in order for you to continue to expand, to employ the Cambodian people, to supply your part to all over the world. So let me take that, your request to discuss with our port, okay? But first of all, let's invest let's expand the operation in the ICE. Cambodia will be the hub
Yes.
of ICE part. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Thank you very much. And then we are very appreciate if you meet our high expectation. Thank you very much.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is how you conduct diplomacy and business on stage with an audience. Wonderful. Thank you, Your Excellencies. Great responses. Mr. Rath, to jump to you now with this question. To truly facilitate a unified ASEAN strategy, capital must flow as seamlessly as goods. So how can ABC play a role to facilitate regional banking partners to create specialized trade finance instruments that specifically incentivize MNCs to relocate their midstream supply chain components to Cambodia?
Okay, thank you for the questions. I want to approach this question from a perspective of myself, one as a chairman of the Association of Bank in Cambodia, and also as a country head and CEO of Maybank Cambodia as well. I think in terms of the trade integrations, Cambodia pretty much have integrated with the regional trade, which now is at 60 billion US dollar. And this is quite significant relative to the size of our economy, and also where we started this integration journeys some years back. However, when we talk about moving up the value chains, certainly we need a different financing model. This is something that I believe that the industry have a role to play. Today, the trade finance, the value chain financings are still pretty much fragmented, and probably to a certain extent, as always, is risk sensitive. This is where more effort is needed to ensure that as our MC put it, to ensure that the capital equity financing can flow as fast as or as smooth as good as well. Because Excellency Deputy Prime Minister, our Minister of Commerce, talk a lot about integrations, and certainly the role of a financial institution is to support and in fact enabling that possibility as well. In terms of the industry itself, probably I want to touch on three areas where I believe that as the industry, we can step in to reshape the market. The first one is on the standardized supply chains finance practice across the industry, across the bank, looking first onboarding as well as risk management framework to ensure that the documentation, the onboarding, the risk management frameworks, probably the difference is not significant between financial institutions. The second part is on the, probably encourage what I call is risk sharing frameworks, so that more banks, not just a few, can participate, and we can participate probably deeper. And on the third point is around what I call is supporting transition financing, especially in terms of capitals, working capital to support the supplier relocations and the ramp-up stages. This is important, and making sure that the financial institution is ready for that transitions from one country to another, but also ramping up the production as well to cope up with the demand of the market. Coming back to my head as a CEO of Maybank Cambodia, if you look at big bank in our regions, in fact, if you look at the strategies, most of the big bank, Their strategy is beyond their home market. And all of this big bang fortify their presence in ASEAN to seize the opportunity that the regions presented, either to attract more investment to the region, but more importantly, to capture the intra-ASEAN flow. In the case of Maybank, which is one of the top regional bank with presence in 10 ASEAN countries, we understand this. And our strategy, in fact, focus very strongly. What we call is our home, our backyard. ASEAN is our backyard. And as such, the bank have prioritized the structured financial solution across the regions, including cross-border guarantee, supply chain financings, and receivable discounting tailored for MNC. There are entering emerging markets like our region or moving within the regions. And in fact, at my group level, we have already piloted this solution, I call bespoke solution, in a couple of markets that we are in. And we are well positioned to scale up, to roll out to Cambodia as well, to seize the opportunity as well as when there is a demand. And for us in Cambodia, this is something that Maybank Cambodia can leverage our regional network, our balance sheet as a regional bank, our partnership as well as our expertise and the ecosystem that we have and our customer have, so that we can support the expansion or the relocations efficiently and prudently as well. But what is important is we need to be pragmatic as well. So the goal is not, probably I won't call it a rapid transformation, but gradually, moving away from, moving beyond what we call infrastructure ready to a more financing ready within the country and beyond the border. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Routh. And Mr. Bo, for a truly integrated ASEAN, the open skies policy is essential. What are some of the specific regulatory bottlenecks that must be dismantled to allow low-cost logistics to truly empower the +1 or unified ASEAN strategy, especially for SMEs?
Thanks, Deborah. I'm glad to hear when His Excellency Sun Chantol, who basically explained the vision of Cambodia, where he mentioned many initiatives that the Cambodian government is taking. That's music to my ears because that resonates with the vision of AirAsia as well. I think there's few areas that Cambodia, together with the industry players, can play a big role. One is cost. I think the current day consumer is very cost sensitive. ASEAN has 750 million people. If we have our products at a lower cost, when I say product at a lower cost, airline flight ticket costs are lower, and the same goes for the airport as well. Currently, Cambodia is basically the second most expensive in terms of airport cost after Singapore. So we have to work to make sure that this cost becomes lower. And why? Because Cambodia has a huge potential in terms of tourism. Just to go back a bit on history, His Excellency Sun Chantol is the one that constantly asked AirAsia to set up shop here. After, I think, a decade that I'm seeing him, and we have managed to set up shop, and it has been successful. So I think to go to the next chapter, we have to really look at costs, how monopolistic dealings as well. We must allow airlines to self-handle. We have to relook at fuel tax costs so Cambodia can be as competitive as other ASEAN countries. And the next one is basically human capital. This was music to my ears when His Excellency said about TVET. The aviation industry is growing double-fold, and we need engineers, technicians, and a lot of aviation workforce. And I think this is something that we seriously should look into instead of a lot of Cambodians going and working outside Cambodia. So this is a great opportunity, and I hope that we can work with the government and the relevant agencies to make sure that the cost is low in Cambodia and to make this really a tourist destination. Thank you.
Thank you for that very insightful comments. Okniatan Ki Meng. So you've witnessed the success of Malaysian companies such as Maybank and AirAsia, both on stage in Cambodia. And given the recent 2025 tensions, how are you guiding Malaysian manufacturers to view Cambodia not just as a neighbor, but as a +1 destination for diversifying their industrial base?
Thank you, Deborah. Yeah, first of all, my respect to Deputy Prime Minister, Excellency Sun Chanto, and Minister of Commerce, esteemed guests. And also, first of all, thank you, Nek Oknya Kip Ming, President and CCC, and also ASEAN BAC for organizing this. This is frankly the third one, and I have privilege to participate in the 3 years in a row on stage with the key speaker. So this is the very open and also frank talking. So may you allow me to talk frankly to a certain extent. So first of all, I'm representing Malaysian Business Chamber in Cambodia. So I'm speaking for perspective of Malaysian +1. So what we think Malaysia is perfect candidate for +1. We have been in the market for 35 years. We have 5 banks here, we have AirAsia here, and also we know Cambodia better than everyone. So Malaysia have evolved from the SME to high-tech industry now. We have data center. We are very successful in chip processing. So just like what Deputy Prime Minister mentioned, and also our friend from Japan. So it's for Cambodia. Now Malaysia should look at Cambodia no longer a place for cheap labor. It's a regional integration of resources. When we're talking about integration, to be frank, I've been living here 26 years. A lot of foreigner investors coming here, they're still on the one-to-one basis. Mean they come out, set up company, they have to do everything for that country. If we talk about one ASEAN, why we cannot think out of the box? Selective industry, what the government want to do, semiconductor, high-tech industry, that sector we should promote a truly supply chain connectivity through a synchronization. For example, a Malaysian manufacturer, very good in the part. Can they put upstream or downstream in Cambodia? And these two regarded as one. So in the way that CDC, MOC regard both entities as one entity so that they can go through a simplified registration to recognize them. They can have their upstream or downstream here, connect, and then ship out. This is number one. Number two, can custom to recognize this after CDC and MOC recognize. You have the custom bonded concept. They ship in raw material and finished good in the bonded concept, leverage on the cheaper labor in Cambodia, higher technology in Malaysia, and ship out this thing out of the country to leverage on RCEP concept. So the third one, GDT, tax department. They have to be open-minded to accept after CDC, MOC, custom recognized, they accept this is the one that tax on the origin where they make profit and leverage on double tax agreement, allow the company to excel here and tax and appropriately. Last thing, one of the pain point, main of my Malaysian counterpart have the pain point is when they come to set up office here, a factory here, they have to do all process all together. You name it, the food standard, safety standard, and all the, we call the certification. if we can amplify the concept of supply chain industry, if we also can synchronize mutual recognition of certification of both countries. For example, Cambodia will benefit because if the food products produced by Malaysian Halal Production Hub, then if we can recognize using Malaysian Halal system, it will make the Cambodia raw material become Halal finished good. So this is my humble opinion, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Kimeng, for such valuable insights from the Malaysian perspective. And I think, ladies and gentlemen, we've run out of time, so we won't be able to do and take any questions from the audience, but absolutely a very engaging conversation. So thank you to our esteemed panelists. A lot of homework and action items, I believe, from today, so all the best. Ladies and gentlemen, please, a round of applause for Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. May I now invite Your Excellencies to a group photograph at the front of the stage. And I'd like to invite Oknia Kitmeng to please join.